was a radio personality in Columbus, Ohio. And all the occasions that we got together, he would always continue to come back to me again and again and again. In fact, I just asked him a few weeks ago, I said, look here, tell me, what made you stay in my ear? He said, I just felt it was my duty. And you know, sometimes in life, you have to believe in somebody's belief in you until your belief kicks in. Now, I don't know you, I can't even see you, but here's what I know about you, that you have something special. You have greatness within you. I can say that to you based upon my own experience. If anybody told me just getting started, so I don't know what you do, you might be selling a product, a service, you might have some skill or knowledge that people need right now. I don't know what you do, but here's what I know. You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. If anybody told me just having the courage to get started, that it was possible that I could earn more, that I could touch people's lives, that I could do things that I didn't even realize that I could do, I can just tell you right now, one of the things that you have to do is just decide, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this happen. I remember once going to an event and they had a variety of motivational speakers there. And one of the guys that opened for Zig Ziglar, he was quiet. He had low energy. He didn't have any personality. In fact, he was boring. And the audience is quiet as a graveyard between funerals. And I remember going to sleep and the audience woke me up with polite applause. And I said, man, he was boring. I did not know at that time I was seated next to his brother-in-law. And he said, you ought to be that boring and make the kind of money you made. I said, well, how much did he make? He said, $5,000. I looked at my watch. I said, $5,000. I said, I know I could do that. Has that ever happened to you? That you saw somebody do something, you say, hey, if they can do it, I can do it. And from that time to this time, I'll never forget something that he said. The speaker on the platform, he said, I know that I don't have personality and passion and energy. I know that I'm boring. He said, but the reason I'm standing up here and you're seated out there is because I represent the thoughts you have rejected for yourself. Whoa, man, when he said that, that hit me dead between the eyes, because I remember saying to myself, I can't do that. I don't have a college education. I can't do that, Mike. I've never worked for AT&T, Procter & Gamble, McDonald's Corporation, IBM, Xerox. I can't compete with those guys out there. I don't have the resources. I don't have a 4-color brochure. Had all of these excuses. I remember one day I was talking to her and the line went dead. And I called him back. I said, hey, Mike. I said, we lost the signal. He said, we didn't lose the signal. I said, what happened? He said, I hung up. I said, well, why would you do that? He said, you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. I said, oh my God. He said, you better hope I win this conversation. I said, okay, talk to me. And I tell you, I'm so glad he did that. From that time to this time, I've traveled around the world. From that time to this time, I went from earning $50 an hour to $25,000 an hour because I got started. From that time to this time, I went from just speaking locally to speaking around the world and getting over $125,000 an hour. I had no idea. There are things that you're going to be able to do that eye has not seen, ear has not heard. There are things that you have in you that you don't even know. But until you get outside of your comfort zone, you will never discover it. You have something special. You have greatness within you. But in order to manifest your greatness, you've got to put yourself in a perpetual state of discomfort. Yes, you've got to challenge yourself. You've got to raise the bar on yourself. You've got to get busy. You've got to work your plan. Even if you've got a job right now, you've got to work yourself out of it. You've got to have an exit date where you say, hey, I've had it. It's time for me to do me, to pursue my dream, to work my plan, to implement the things that I want for myself and for my family and for my kids. And what is your legacy? What do you want to do for yourself? In my case, I want to be able to take care of my mother. I'm adopted. And I feel like Abraham Lincoln, who said, all that I am and all that I ever hope to be, I owe to my mother. My mother adopted 6 kids. And along with me, that made 7. And she was a domestic worker on Miami Beach. And I said, Mama, she said, what is it, Leslie? One day, when I become grown, I'm going to buy your home. I'll buy you a big, beautiful home just like this. I bought my mother the first home, 10,000 square feet, had a 12-foot deep Olympic-sized swimming pool on a golf course, and I would have never been able to do that had I not got started with my dream. And so at the end of the day, you have something special. You're watching this right now for a reason, because you have something of value. This is your time. And as you begin to look at yourself and look at your goals and look at your dreams, decide that you're going to focus on your strength. What is it you want to do? And decide that you're going to master that you can say to yourself, I got this. This is my space. And when you do that, when you find something that is your passion that turns you on, when you do that to the best of your ability, they said that success is doing what you love to do. You do it so well that people are pay you to do it. That's what I do as a speaker. You know, I love to talk. It's our 5 people who pay me to talk to them. And so you want to have a good time. You want to enjoy yourself, and you want to get out of your fear and just become bold. I believe leap and grow your wings on the way down. Absolutely. Well, I don't know what to do. Well, just get started. If you turn right, if you're running in the wrong direction, just turn around and you be going in the right direction. Just get started doing what you're supposed to do. Get busy. And you'll be surprised at the breakthrough. You'll be surprised at how things begin to come together for you. I had no idea. So I want to leave this with you. You have something special. The world is waiting. There are customers that are waiting for your services, for your product, for your ideas, for your skills, for your expertise. It's time for you to show up. Absolutely. Stand up for your dream. Stand up for your business. Make it happen. This is Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy. You got greatness within you. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay, I want to talk a little bit about that. And has anybody ever seen that video before? So 2 people, 3, 2 people, 3 maybe. Okay. Well, you know, it's and you can unmute yourself if you want to comment. If you want to, you know, let's unmute yourself. I want to hear some comments about it. If any takeaways or thoughts on that at all?
I'll comment, Rick.
Okay.
I heard something a little bit that is common thread today. That was, you know, the leap and grow your wings on the way down. Somebody was talking about blogging and said version 1.0 will be better than version 0.0.
Mm-hmm.
So just to get started.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I think so many people think they got to perfect something before they do something, before they take action. And what he just said is you just, you know, you jump and you learn the way down. You can't be afraid to fail. All successful entrepreneurs fail to move forward. They fail to go forward. They know they have to fail to move forward. Okay. And happens all the time. What other comments? No other comments at all?
Rick,
Yes.
can you hear me? Hey, this is Kathy. Let me see, where did it go? I love the comment of focus on your strength and master that. I mean, this whole time watching him, I just got chills. It was so powerful.
Yep.
So often we think we can't do anything, but we do have those areas in our life that God's blessed us with. That is our strength.
Yep.
Although stay in your comfort zone, but anyway, that was powerful.
Yeah, I mean, your comfort zone is what you're making right now. So that's a good point. Everything in your comfort zone is making you the money that you're making right now. Okay? To make additional money, you got to work outside your comfort zone. Okay? And all those places that might not be as comfortable for you to do, if it's going to a networking meeting, going to a meetup group, you know, going somewhere to meet other people and stuff like that, that's where sometimes it gets uncomfortable, and you do it. You know, I see it again today, and I say it all the time, is the answer is always, the answer to the question is always no until you ask it, right? And it's amazing, you know, how many times in your life have you been baffled when you asked something and somebody responded positive when you thought it was not going to be, okay? So thank you there. Other comments? Leah?
I was very moved by have your exit date So I already have my exit date. It's not for 5 years, but
Yep.
I have my exit date.
Sure. Yeah, that's important. Is that's part of long-term goals and short-term goals. You know, we have short-term goals and long-term goals, and that exit date is part of a long-term goal. You know, as you're working towards. So yes, that's a good point. You know, when do you want to be at $100,000 a year? That's another long-term goal. You know, when do you want to be at $100,000? And then, you know, set other smaller goals along the way to make sure you're getting there and doing the things to do it. Because, you know, if you want to be at $100,000 and say 3 years from now or 2 years from now, and you're 6 months into it and you haven't even made $1,000, you know, good luck. You know, you better get outside your comfort zone. Okay. Because it's not going to happen. So, okay. Other questions, other comments on that?
Rick, I'll comment.
Okay.
I had just a quick story the other day. I was at a restaurant. Well, it was kind of a dining area where you could get something quick to eat. But anyways, Tim's Laura Sales just released the new 3X landing page.
Okay.
And one was white and one was gray. And
Yeah.
I'm looking at them. I was reading through it, and I'm like, this is awesome. This is unbelievable. And there's two ladies sitting over to my left, about 20 feet away. And I'm like, man, I want to go. I wonder if I should ask them which one they like better, the white one or the gray one. And I sat there for like 10 minutes contemplating because I was kind of nervous.
Uh-huh.
And finally I got up and did it, and I was nervous.
Yeah.
And I said, which one do you like? You know, I just showed them the landing page, you know, and they both said, oh, the gray one. I said, thanks. And one of the ladies said, well, what is this weight loss thing? I said, well, I don't want to take your time to explain it, but I'll just give you a card. So I gave them both a card. But I was really nervous. It was like asking out a girl, but you know, it was,
Sure.
so it was
That's a
one
great
example of getting out of my comfort zone.
That's a fantastic idea, though. That is a fantastic idea. You asking somebody's opinion. Every single person loves to give their opinion. Everybody. I don't care if you're a speaker, a trainer, a coach, just a person. You like to give your opinion. And it falls into when you send somebody something, you say, what did you like best about what you've seen? Same concept. Which would you like better? That's a fantastic way to do that. That's great. Say, hey, I got a new business I'm working on, and I'd love to get your opinion. I need to see which one I want to market.
Yeah, they were both happy to give their opinion.
They like the dark one though.
They both liked the gray one immediately.
Okay, cool. Okay, good. Thank you. Other comments on Les Brown's video? Okay. Well, a couple things I want to do, and I'll go back to share my screen a second, is I want to make sure that over the next week that you go in here and work on your personal development a little bit. Everybody. Because if we're not sponsoring people, trust me, you need to work on your personal development. I don't care, because you're not trying. It all falls in this category. Okay. It all falls in somewhere that you're going to see right here. And the thing that I can tell you is I've probably watched this video a dozen times. I've watched all these videos multiple times. Think and Grow Rich. These audios here, I've listened to probably a dozen times. The entire Think and Grow Rich, the most famous business book in the world, is right here in audios. Okay? And so, but I want to challenge you, okay, to go to the You section right here. Watch Jim Rohn, a fantastic guy. Here's another lengthy video, 52 minutes on Les Brown. Okay, a great video here. Okay, so keep scrolling down. There's some other information here. Okay, and then this is on just when you click on the page. Watch these videos. Not all the same day. Okay, but put it in the thing to say, I'm going to watch a video here. I'm watching a video here. Write it into your appointment calendar. If you don't got a calendar, you're not in business, in my opinion. Okay, I feel strongly about that. I've had a calendar for 32 years because in the photography business, I could not operate without a calendar because I had appointments, 10, 15 appointments a day. Okay, and I had 3 photographers. We had 45, 50, 60 appointments come in a day. Okay, so I'm ingrained to a calendar. I book dates with my wife on my calendar. I book things like that. I have the last 10 years of my calendars in my closet over here, okay? For tax reasons, I don't have to keep them that long, but I have them. They're like a journal in a way, okay? Although I have a separate journal. But go in here, and you need, if you don't have a belief in the company that we're in here, you need to click on that tab and watch that. If you don't have a belief in the industry, you need to click here. Most of all, you need to click, I think everybody needs to click on a belief in themselves. We just watched this. Come over here and listen to Les Brown's 36 Minutes. Art Williams, this is old. Just do it. It's a famous speech that he gave. Could be 10 years old, but it's very empowering. Okay. And here's a competitor. This guy's in a different industry, but this is a great generic video that he's given here about personal development and principles of successful recruiting and stuff like that. Okay. And there's a whole host of tons and tons of pages over here. Okay. That you should go through. And the thing that we all have to understand is that we all memorize the alphabet, right? Dr. Cooper, our CEO, can actually read it backwards faster than I can say it forwards because he memorized. He's a genius, okay? He's memorized it, okay? And so I say that because if you watch certain videos and certain things over and over, and you like what you heard, you watch it again, you take a few notes, you write a few lines down. And if you journal that and you write down and you listen to that, you will start to ingrain that in your speech. Now, I watch a lot of different people's videos, and there's a couple other competitive network marketers or in other companies, and I can tell you their whole business is built now on just repeating other sayings of personal development that's out there. If it's John Maxwell, if it's Les Brown or Jim Rohn or Brian Tracy, they have memorized certain lines and they put it together in how they talk and how they motivate people and stuff like that, and how they build their business. Okay. And so, the global success leaders, I've put hundreds and hundreds of hours in this over the many, many years that I've had it. I've had it, in RX for 5 years. I had it in my previous company. Okay. But when we started RX July 4, 2011, coming to this July is going to be 5 years. And I put together Global Success Leaders. I've changed it up several times. It is what it is right now today. And it's got a tremendous amount of information here. We got an orientation, a training. I get baffled. To this day, there's people that have never gone through this section, which is very helpful. They don't have to succeed to have it, but it's very helpful, and haven't gone through these courses because they're actually courses. When you go through here, they're a course that you have to go through. You can't see the next course until you go through it. Okay. And it tracks through there. Okay. And so there's people that haven't taken the flip chart right here and said, okay, here's the flip chart, and actually printed it out and know how to do it. In my opinion, you don't own your business. You don't own any part of it unless you know how to do this flip chart. It's only 17 pages. Okay. You say, well, Rick, where's it at? Well, you can download it there. You can download it in the file section of Global Success Leaders, sir. Okay. Hope I'm not sounding too harsh, but I'm trying to get you out of your comfort zone, because you'll never make anything in this business if you don't start talking to people. If you don't start recruiting at least one person a month, you might as well quit. Okay? Because you're never going to make it. If you haven't in the last 6 months, Brian, you're just, it's not going to work for you. And you've got to, and I hate being like this, but I'm trying to help. Okay? Because I'm going to tell you, I'm shifting gears here. I'm shifting gears a little bit because, I know the people that are doing in the business because I can see everything in our downline. Okay. And that's okay. And so I want to be responsible to you, but I'm not going to be responsible for you. And you should be the same way. When you sponsor somebody, you're responsible to that person to do 3-way calls, to help them plug into all the resources, but you're not responsible for them. You can't, if they don't want to do it, that's their problem. It's not yours. Okay. And so, I'm going to tell you that you need to do the presentation. You need to be able to print that out and go through that. And if you say, I don't know that I can do that, you better watch my video 15 times, because you can probably at that point be able to do it better than I. Okay. So I'm just going to be a reference point for that to do that. Okay. And so, because you can't just keep showing up every Monday night. And if you never have anybody, a new person to bring to our Zoom meeting to say, okay, here's somebody new and here's somebody new, then, you're not going to be making any money. Okay. Now I'm shifting, like I just said, to a little bit out of a management mode. I consider this a management mode doing these meetings. Okay. And I'm going to start presenting webinars again. Okay. You can tap into them if you want to. You can bring guests if you want to, but I'm doing them for me. Okay. Now I hope that you don't think that sounds selfish, because I'm saying you can tap into them. Okay. You can take the recording. I'll make the recordings out there. You'll take them. I'm working on several things. Okay. Me and Chris bought some software. Chris Silkman right there bought some software to do some webinars. Okay. In the end of the year. And she's probably wondering, Rick, when are you going to do that? And so I've been working the last week on a new presentation, and it's going to be intense, okay? And I've got to practice it, and then I'm going to start doing live webinars. I'm going to have recorded webinars, and I'm going to blow up everything I can with webinars about the principles of why they need to be doing this business, and then about RX, shifting all together, okay? So there's a precursor to the presentation, the 17th step out there. Me and Lynn and a couple other team members kind of worked on it to say, we got to create something easy. I'm tired of being easy, okay? I know this business like the back of my hand. I know it inside and out, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and present. Now we're going to bring on more people, and I want to let you guys utilize it and stuff like that. But you've got to get a strong belief in yourself. You've got to get out of your comfort zone. You got to invite people to something. You got to sit down with people, and you got to not be afraid to say, hey, I don't know everything. I'm still learning. But I tell you what, I'm earning along the way. I'm making money along the way as I'm learning this business. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. Okay. I have a group up in Canada. They started doing their own presentations. Okay. Daryl, I don't know if Daryl's on here. His mom's on here. Terry. Okay. And they started doing presentations with Bob McKay. He used to be in a previous company I was in, and then he was in another company, and they're starting to do things. And they told me the other night, I don't care if we have to do 2 a night, 3 times a week. We're going to do presentations. Okay. They actually plugged into a guy that's in a town close by or something like that. And the guy was having 20, 30 new people on his webinar every week. And he was enrolling people right and left. And they actually went to his one of his webinars in a town close by them or something like that. The point is that you have to take action, and you got to do things that are going to grow your business, okay? Products are great. We know the products are great. You should never have to go to the belief in the company or the products, because this company is unbelievable what they're doing and what they're going to do. You got to keep in mind we're only 112 million in last year in sales. We will probably double this year to 200 million, maybe 250 million. And then it's going to get to 400. This is going to go crazy. And you don't want to be left behind. The people that are going to succeed are the people that are constantly put themselves out there and build a presence in their community and online. And I would say, if somebody said, Rick, what is my greatest chance to succeed? And I will hands down tell you is build your local market. Building online is 10 times harder. It is. You don't think it is. It doesn't mean you don't use social media to get people into your local market, because you know that you can advertise on Facebook for just your town. You can run an ad for, I can run an ad for Orlando, Florida, or Central Florida, period, down to the zip code. And just run ads for doing a webinar. I'm doing these webinars. I'm going to start, and when I get 5 or 6 people, I'm going to do them live. We're going to do them in somebody's house, and then from somebody's house, we're going to move to the next thing. Okay? Trust me, if you have enough passion and desire to make money and build this business, you could start out with just 2 of you. And then you challenge each other. Okay, we're going to meet in 3 days. We're going to do another thing. We're going to do them on Mondays. We're going to do them on Saturdays. We're going to do whatever date, it doesn't matter. Just be consistent and do them. And then tell those people, okay, you come, you bring a couple people in. And that's how we're going to build this. And you bring a couple people. This is amazing. And you got to get excited and passionate about your products. and watch some personal development and focus on that, okay? Just selling products is a tough thing to make a living, okay? Because there's too many things that are getting pulled from everybody's direction. You've got to balance it with recruiting people also into your business, because every time you do that, you just about duplicated yourself in a sense. And if you've gone through all your people, which there's ways to reapproach those anyway, you know, you're only telling yourself you can't do that. You can do that, okay? Every time you recruit somebody new, you got another couple hundred people, okay? So a lot of it, you just have to you got to get out of your comfort zone again. You got to take action. You just got to do it. Okay, watch that video. What's his name? I just got off the page. Anyway, I'm going to get back to it because I want to.
Al Williams with.
Al Williams video. Yeah, and just do it, okay, and just watch it, because I tell you what, it's exciting. If it doesn't get your blood pumping, nothing will. Okay, nothing will. So, you know, when I talk to people and they say, well, you know, I just want to build a, you know, completely online business. Well, you know, it could be an introvert that don't like to talk to people. That's okay. I guess you can be at the computer, but it's a challenge. It's a lot of work. It's not easy. It's costly to run ads, okay, and stuff like that. If somebody says, well, you know, I want to do some online, well, then only do 25% online, 75% in your local market till you get a good sized team going. And never go into management mode ever until you have 20, 30 people, at least 20, 30 people. Okay. You can't be managing those people. You got to still recruit. And Mark Wilson, the president of RX, will tell you should never, ever go in management mode. You should always be recruiting. Doesn't mean you can't be responsible to people. That doesn't mean management mode. Management mode is usually when you sit back and you don't do nothing except manage other people and help other people, and you don't even recruit. I've never been in that mode. I'm always recruiting still. Okay? I'm always reaching out to people. I'm talking to people. I get leads, and I follow up with them and stuff like that. Okay? I go to meetup groups. I'm going to another meetup group here coming up. So the point is that you've got to, again, you've got to get out. So I'm shifting a little bit. Don't know exactly if it's going to be a week or two or whatever. I'll still do these meetings. I don't know. I'll keep it going once a week. I might cut them to every other Monday. It just depends. If we're getting new people on it, if it's the same old people, you've heard from me before. Okay? I hate to say that unless you have a question. Everybody knows they can always call me. I talk to Leah once a week normally. We have a one-on-one call once a week, and people can have that. And that's fine. I'm talking to people on Skype and stuff like that. So people can get hold of me anytime they want. They get on three-way calls anytime they want. Okay. But it's something that I you know, from a leadership point, you want to see things happen, right? If you don't feel that things are happening, you know, you get a little disgruntled. Okay. So I want to shift out and start recruiting and doing webinars and presentations. Everybody can then invite people to those, okay, or invite people to a recorded one I have. You'll have to watch out because I'm not, you know, I'm going to take and make the platform I'm using. My idea is towards the end of the webinar, a link's going to pop up that says join my business, and they're going to click on it and join my business. So the recording I make sure that you understand and you've been through it and you see how it is first, and I'll try to keep you abreast how I'm going to do it. I don't know exactly how it's going to work, but my intention is to go out there and record and build it. I also have an idea to possibly make these available so other people could use the same webinar and it would join their business. They'd have a different link. Okay, I've got to get in and do some research on this, on the software that we're going to use. Okay, I want to show you one other thing. I've been working on a couple other things. I've been working on a 3X fat loss website. Okay, and it's a landing page. And does everybody know what a landing page is? Let me show of hands if you know what a landing page is. Hold your hand up a second if you know what a landing page is. So a landing page is one page, and all it has on there is a message with an email box. They put their email in there and they hit submit. As soon as they do that, they go onto my Aweber list. and they're going to start to get 8 emails. But as soon as they press submit, it redirects them to my 3X fat loss link directly. As soon as they hit submit, it goes to 3X fat loss, and they start watching Tim's video. And I'll show it to you in a second. So I've been working on this also, okay, because I want to capture the person that put their email in on my list, so then I can start sending them emails to convince them they need to do this program. Okay? So if I get 10 people on this list and one person buys the program, I got 9 people I got to work on, because people have to see it multiple times, and they got to be told, you're going to learn this and this and this. They could have been busy when they filled it out. Maybe they were at work, they got distracted, they closed their browser because their boss walked by or something like that. Or they did it on their phone, and all of a sudden they were in line somewhere and they had to get off the bus, and they closed their browser and they're done. Well, now I can send them a link back to, hey, you didn't have a chance to watch that video, blah, 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 this and that. And I can drip on them, and they're on my list, okay? Because you build your list, okay? So I'll show you where I'm at so far with it. And I'll tell you right now, I don't know that we can advertise this on Facebook yet, okay? We're going to have to, I might have to make a alternative to it. But I registered a website called 3xfatlosseducation.com. And I also have 3xweightlosseducation.com, okay? And it's going to be a replicated site. It's set up replicated already. So this is Rick. If you want to see it, rick.3xfatlosseducation.com. And this is some copy of, a site that I seen that Stefan did. I don't know if he's actively using it. And he had a similar concept here. And it just says 54-year-old man, which is Tim Sales is 54, okay? 54-year-old average guy uncovers 5 elements of fat loss and drops 28 pounds in 60 days without exercise, okay? Right to the point. Discover the one thing that that is keeping you from losing weight for good. You get this wrong, and you'll always be fat. So it has 2 other bullet points, and you come down here and you put an email. So I'm just going to pop an email in here. I'll show you where it goes to. So it comes up at rick@rickbillings.com. Okay, and I hit submit, and it puts that email on my AWeber list and redirects me right to 3X Fat Loss just immediately.
Congratulations, you found us. I'm going to talk to you about fat loss for men. Let me start with this quick little story.
Okay,
In the late 1980s,
so everybody's seen this. So now now I'm on an AWeber list. Okay, I'll just say right now, if you want to see how it goes, you can go and opt in. I'll know who you are. Okay, and that's fine. No biggie. If you want to opt in and see what the emails are, if you catch any typos, I'd appreciate any feedback, because I just did it myself. Okay, hadn't had anybody look at it yet. I usually do. Okay, any suggestions, feed them back to me. Okay, I'd appreciate that. Just reply back and tell me. I have 8 emails in there. They go out every day, once every day. Okay, and the link goes right to this. And the idea I have is to set this up where I can deploy it to other people that want to use it. Okay, they would have to have AWeber, which you can go and get on my tools page and get a free month if you don't have it, and then deploy the emails in there and stuff like that. So anyway, and I'm going to work on one on the women's also. Now, I don't know if Facebook will take a picture like that in advertising. I don't know that yet. I haven't tried it. But I can sure change that picture to have something else behind it that they would approve. Okay? So then when somebody comes off Facebook, they come off Facebook off an ad, they go in there, they opt in, and now you have their name on a list. See, because when you have their name and you can send them emails, you've just tripled your success rate of closing somebody in the business. Okay, because because you're dripping emails on them. Okay, and so so I'll stop a second, pause. Does anybody have any questions on that? No questions. Okay. Let me look here. Okay, so how many are up for a challenge to get their mindset set to recruit one person a month? How many? Let's see a raise of hands. At least one. Heshy's got 4 in 1 week. Okay, I don't want to see Heshy's hand. I challenge Heshy. Heshy just goes and does it. Okay.
I don't know how to do it. I can't figure out how to raise my hand on this.
Just like this. Your physical hand. Okay. So did I see almost everybody's hand? Okay, we've had a couple people drop off. They apparently didn't like what I was saying. So that's fine.
So Rick, how's Heshy recruited 4 people in a week?
Okay, Heshy, why don't you help us out here? Heshy, give this week. Okay, she went to a conference. I'll let Heshy explain it. But Heshy, tell us what you did or what you're doing.
Okay, so I don't know if Leah is still on the call, but
Got above you.
I went to a conference. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I went to a conference, and that's where I met Leah. And when I go to a conference, I usually look for one person that I think is just going to knock the socks off the world. And that's how I met Leah. So I go to conferences and I look for people that I want to work with. I want to make sure that they have integrity, and I just start talking to them. You know, I find out what they do. I build a relationship, and if I think that there's going to be a match, I ask them about if it would be okay to send some words about this. And so I this week. And what I do is I carry around my purity bottle, and I carry around and I walk into every conference with no makeup and both eyes, because my eyes are excuse my eyes. And I just say, and I make sure that it's someone who really needs it. And I'll say, do you want to see my eyes change in like 90 seconds? And the answer is always yes. And I say, just stare at me. And they stare and they watch my eye change and they go, oh my gosh, I want that. So then my next question is normally, well, do you know any other people who might want it as well? And if they do, they'll say that. I'll say, you can do it 2 ways. You can just get it as a customer, or if you know enough people you think might want it, you can become a partner in my team. And every person does one or the other. But it's really asking people questions and listening to the answer. The listening is so key. And you have to watch their body language, because if they're not interested, then don't pursue it. And I very often say, you know, I don't know whether this is something for you. Only you can decide. And I do a takeaway a lot. And I run them back and forth between being a customer, being an associate. I give them a whole gamut of things. And at the very end, I'll say, which makes the most sense to you? And just remember, you can start as a preferred customer. And if there are other people at this event, because I go to a lot of events, who decide that they want to join, well, I won't be able to do anything about it. I'm going to sign them in first. On the other hand, if you want to look at the link and see if this is something for you, then you may want to sign in just to hold your spot. So I actually go all over the place. Unless I know that there's someone I really want to work with. Like Leah, I knew the instant I met her, I knew I wanted to work with her, and I knew she'd be fabulous. She was planning for her retirement. And that's what it takes, is really listening into what someone wants, giving them lots of alternatives, and always giving them so many that they really will come back and choose the best for them. And I don't ever sign anybody in as with the member package, ever. And I think I've signed one person in with a business package. I want them to sign in with an elite or an ultimate. Does that help?
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, you know, Heshy has probably sponsored in the last 6 months, 20 people probably, right?
No, way more than that.
25. Yeah. So it's working, and obviously she's putting herself in a place at conferences and meetings and stuff like that. She's on a Holistic Chamber of Commerce and back in Pennsylvania, and she develops relationships on Facebook and stuff like that with people. And you got to get out of your comfort zone, put yourself in a place where you can meet people. And when you're passionate and confident like she is about the product, it's not as difficult because people want to join passionate people. They want to join leaders, okay? They want to join people that are going in the direction that they want to go, okay? So that's very important.
Rick, could I add something else?
Yes, uh-huh.
If someone says to me, I don't like sales, I'm not good at sales, and they say that several times, I'll say, you know what, you've sold me. I know you don't like sales.
Really? Did everybody get that? Did everybody get that when they says they just sold her on saying I don't like sales? Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I mean people.
And by the way,
that's just an excuse. I mean that's an excuse.
By the way, Rick, there's one thing that people need to think about is if they're afraid to talk to someone, what I do is I will invariably walk up to someone that I don't know. I either compliment them. If a compliment is warranted, I figure out how to work with them. And there's someone that I met that I'm going to be placing under Leah. I met her over vegetables in North Carolina when the event was canceled because we were already there. And as we were talking, I just asked her questions. I said, what do you do for a living? And she told me, and I said, I know this is going to sound weird, but I'd love to you do. I said, my team. And she said, I don't know what you do. I said, that's not important. We'd like to be on my team. And she said, yes. And 2 weeks later, she went to the event in Philadelphia. I mean, she came up from North Carolina. So sometimes your personal passion and your belief in what you're doing.
Yeah, that's good.
Rick, did you hear that? It was breaking up.
Yeah, the part. Okay,
The last part, she met her, and then it started breaking up.
Repeat that again, Heshi. You met her at the event over vegetables.
Yeah, we were picking out vegetables and we started talking, and Werner and I were looking for someplace else to go. I asked her a bunch of questions. We were asking her for directions to someplace else, and she just went out of her way to really be nice. I mean, she would have driven us there, but she was so nice. And all I did was comment and say, I can't believe how phenomenal you've been. You don't even know us. And we just started talking, and we must have talked there for, 20 minutes. And then she called the next day, and we made plans to get together. I invited her to come to Philly to the event that I was going to. And she came up. I mean, North Carolina is not a close place.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I said, would you like to be on my team? And I actually have enrolled a number of people by just saying, would you like to be on my team? And they have no idea what the team is. It's just, would you like to be on my team? And they ask me questions. I don't give them answers. I just say, would you like to be on my team? And if they say yes, then I say, I'm going to send you a couple links. I'd like you to look at it. And then I'm going to call you. When do you think you can look at this? Whatever I send them.
Yeah.
And then we take it to the next step. And it really works. The idea is the confidence level has to be there that you've got the best things in sliced bread.
Yeah, absolutely. That's huge. That's huge. Great nuggets there. I mean, you can hear from what she's saying that, you don't have to be perfect every time. You can just kind of just be passionate and speak from the heart and just, we're in business to help people. That's what business is about. We're in business to help people with their health or their wealth. Okay? They don't want it. That's their problem, right? But we're in business to help people. When you find someone that wants it, it's driven. RX is the most amazing vehicle that has ever been. I mean, it's amazing. So, It's crazy.
Amy had a question. What link has she send them? Is it like my Explore RX site or?
Has she?
Usually I tell them that my site is heshi.explore.com, which Rick did.
Right.
I will send you the 40-minute overview that Lynn does, and a lot of people love that overview. And then if they want to know how to make money, I just send them Fred's 14-minute whatever, and that's how I start. And I say, if you're interested in other things, let me know. And I ask them if they're a visual learner. Do they like to read? Do they like to listen? Do they like to watch videos? Because I want to their learning style. But basically, I follow a lot of things that Rick says. I will say that, and it's not just because Rick's on the phone, I think that Rick is in sliced bread, because every one of us have Rick as our upline, and he gives us so much that I feel comfortable when I enroll anyone else. The first thing I have to do, you go through Rick's steps, because he's amazing. We are so lucky to have Rick and Lynn as upline. And I think that I'm pretty good, but I don't know everything. I certainly don't know what Rick knows. And the fact that he gives us these things that I say every Monday night, you can be on a training. Rick does this for everyone. He goes out of his, I'm sorry, Rick, I just brag on you.
Thank you.
Rick,
So-
I caught most of that other than the 40-minute overview video. She said she uses somebody's 40
Well,
minutes.
that's Lynn's presentation that she has from about 6-8 months ago. So
All right.
just her PowerPoint presentation.
Is that in GSL or?
Yeah, it should be on the RX, explorerx.com/RX in that section there.
All right. Thanks.
Or it's on Lynn's YouTube channel. So. Okay, thanks, Heshi. Thanks for sharing. So, okay, anybody else have any questions or comments? I have all the things that I had on my list to talk about. Anybody else have any questions or comments? Okay, well, I'll unmute everybody and we can say good night, and we will see you next Monday, and hope we got some new people on the call here, okay? So, good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thanks much, Rick.
Good night, and thanks.